A ton of roaches is fine. Interestingly, though, continuing to make only Mutalisks is also quite good, just because there's no other support that the Thors have, and if you control your Mutalisks perfectly, the Thors have a very difficult time taking them down. That said, Baneling Mutalisk can also be quite effective, just because the Thors are so clustered. So though the Roach is the obvious go-to unit, many of the Zerg units are good against the Thors, again, as long as they are controlled very well.
Mutas are trying to get in here in the main. They do take out the missile turret. Now they're on hold position. They're going to be able to kill quite a bit of SCVs. A little bit of a late pull there from DDE, but EGIdra will fall back now. The third has gone down for DDE right outside, but it looks like he's going to be pushing across the map with a ton of Thors. Blue Flame very close to being complete. Siege Tech here very close to being complete as well. And the Great Wall of Spine Crawlers has been moved out into the middle of the map.
Oh, but he's just going to walk all the way around, but there is no Blue Flame yet. Oh, DDE now running his way in. All those Zerglings could have been dead had he had the Blue Flame upgrade, but here's the big crunch.
The Mutas are clumped.
The Mutas got clumped up. Oh, no, a giant misstep from EGIdra, but the Banelings once again able to clean up the Thors very easily, and then the Mutalisks do their last bit of damage, and suddenly DDE is looking to be in an atrocious position. If only the Blue Flame was done, JP, that could have been an entirely different story.
Saw an immediate use of that larva to go ahead and drone up. About 13 drones were produced, a couple of Mutas as well. But now it's going to be very hard for DDE to deal with this. The Mutas are going to be able to take, a huge Baneling explosion going down the ramp. Not too sure what it kills, but the Mutas just took a huge volley from that Thor. It immediately got 3 kills. So he will have to fall back in this attack from EGIdra. Has been stopped for just a little bit, although the Lings are still raining terror there at the natural.
Oh, DDE is going to need to do some sort of magic very fast. The Infestation Pit has been started, the 4th down. That center macro hatch for EGIdra is up and running. The Queen's still very low on energy. Well, getting a little bit high now. But, I mean, DDE doesn't even have the opportunity to begin making those tanks that will really allow him to be cost-effective in these battles. He's going to be forced to continue to make Thors. And now the 3rd base is under fire as well.
Thor's moving into position, though. It does get 1 volley off, but
ouch.
Takes, looks like 1 Muta with it. At the same time, we see the Infestation Pit started. A huge Baneling drop, or maybe just a Baneling walk-in there at the natural.
Managed to kill, it looks like, a ton of workers. 38 down right now. And in the unit counting station, we see only 38 SCVs versus the 97
of
EGIdra.
That is quite a bit of drones there. Maybe a little bit too much. Sometimes approaching 100, it will cut your army size down quite a bit. But at the same time, see EGIdra at about double the supply of DDE right now. A huge amount of Mutas there in the center of the map. Pathogen glands started, as well as the flyer attacks very close to being done. And your favorite, Sean, the melee attacks, level 2, for those all-important Banelings onto the SCVs.
If this were a ZVP, that would be so awesome. But because those SCVs have that little bit of extra health, they will not be able to get taken down in 1 hit. You do need the +3. How tragic. So we do now see, are there even any Banelings on the field right now? Disappointingly no, but there are almost 100 Zerglings being produced. And oh my god, that was another big cluster from EGIdra. I mean, if EGIdra keeps doing that, he could lose almost all his Mutalisks and a big amount of map control.
You see Greg actually circumventing that 3rd, going straight for the natural here. There is 1 Thor. The Mutas are still clumped up. How many volleys are going to take? Oh, that's 1.
And it looks like it is going to be just about 1.5 volleys. This 1 Thor in the center was able to do a good bit of cleanup. A 4th command center incoming, but I'm most worried about these infestors popping out with Neural Parasite. You can easily nab the tanks and the Thors, essentially negating your ability to deal with any of the really heavy-hitting Zerg units.
And EGIdra is dropping down the Spine Crawlers here in the center of the map. So many total Spine Crawlers, looks to be about 12. There's no way that DDE is going to break through the center of the map with those Hellions. At the same time, the Hive is very close to being finished. 2 more Infestors popping out for, I believe, a total of 7. Another hatchery started here for Greg. He wants yet another expansion. Has he actually? Nope, he's still at 93 drones. So, looks like he might just be waiting for those Broodlords before he begins the long push across the map.
Hive is just about to finish up in the main, and as it finishes, we glance over at the Spire. EGIdra immediately morphs it. 2 evolution chambers, getting those upgrades down. The 5th base incoming for EGIdra. But if DDE was getting a little bit more variety, getting something like, you know, a lot more Vikings, some more Marines there for support, he actually can handle 3 base versus an almost infinite basing Zerg until those Broodlords pop up. We've seen MVP do this many times. Can DDE pull it off?
Greater Spire about halfway complete. 2 more hatcheries there, and a little bit of a close call with those mutas as there was a Thor, or a bunch of Thors actually to be exact, right behind. They could have gone some big volleys. That's just a huge amount of lings here in the center of the map, and even more so, he's actually, okay, so he's freaking out here because he's realizing I have so many drones, I'm going to make some spine crawlers because I also have so many friggin' minerals. His 4,000 is about to be eclipsed there from Greg. He's just kind of suiciding.
Wow!
Maybe not suiciding, but he needs to make sure, oh, he takes a couple volleys there.
Needs to be very careful with these siege tanks, though. I mean, with the Broodlords about to pop out and this many infestors, I mean, the entire army is just going to get neural parasited in half. And I mean, I even think DDE might be wise to just retreat. You see the tank is sieged up in there. Repositioning of the spine crawlers and the Broodlords, a pair are in production.
Now that's something you don't see every day. Sean, Zerg Flyer Attacks level 3 just begun researching here for EGIdra, as he does lose that hatchery, but at the same time he does have that 12 o'clock position. He is going to be taking yet another hatchery. DDE was thinking about moving out, but he needs to secure a 4th base oh so direly right now. Some lings are swinging around. They do have the adrenal glands upgrade, as well as having the +2 attacks. They're swinging into the natural.
Oh, a lot of damage going down. It looks like this command center will get taken down. And there's just the good game. DDE realized what horrible bind he was in and was not even going to go and face that huge army. EGIdra now advances on to face Liquid Chef in the winner's bracket semifinals.
That is going to be a ton of fun casting that ZVZ, Sean. Casted a bunch of ZVZs in the Latin American tournament. And there's Greg shaking his hand. Hey, I think I just saw him smile. He just took a win. He's going to be moving on to the winner's bracket. I should stop like being surprised when he smiles quite a bit. Well, I'm becoming a forum poster right now.
Well, the important thing to note, though, no one has won the tournament yet. This is just the first round games. There have even been no eliminations. If we take a look at the bracket, we can see what the next 4 matchups are coming up. We have Liquid Huck versus Dignitas' Select, Liquid Chef versus EGIdra. And in the bottom bracket, we see Ostoji versus Fnatic MSI's TT1, Rain Kiwikaki versus SixJax DDE. Again, just action-packed matches across the board.
Every match so far, Sean, has been 2-0, but every match so far has been
quite close.
Incredible, because game 1 almost of every single match has been very, very long, very involved for almost all these series. Of the game 2, a little bit more one-sided for the player that, of course, did win. But we have some great matches coming up for you guys later today. I cannot wait to see every single one of those games, the 2 in the upper, the 2 in the lower. They're all going to be so much fun, Sean.
And, of course, for any of you who are enjoying the action, we will be doing this again tomorrow. This is a 2-day event to determine who will be the top 2 advancing on to go to BlizzCon. We already know Naniwa and Rhett will be there from Europe. We have Dignitas Killer and SixJax Major going from Latin America. And who will be the 2 American players today? We're going to be finding out.
We are definitely going to find out. So coming up, guys, we are going to have our next match of the day. It's going to be Fnatic TT1 against your favorite Zerg player here, Sean. Who is that going to be?
It's going to be Gosu Ostoji. Now, for those of you who did not get the chance to see that game 1 between Ostoji and Huck, Ostoji had Huck against the wall. It was looking like Ostoji was going to dominate, but Huck held on and held on and held on and then barely edged out a win there. And even though the second game was quite close, Ostoji only had 10 seconds of timing off with his sport crawlers, and he would have had a perfect defense. Still freaking close. So that is going to be a very intimidating match for Fnatic MSI's TT1, but keep in mind, TT1 getting 2nd place in MLG Dallas 2010, a very solid PvZer that was long his best matchup. We've seen innovation in his PvT
Yeah.
But is it going to be the same as Protoss versus Zerg?
Well, we're going to have to find out. So when we come back, guys, some losers bracket action. Game 1 of another game that we will be casting right after that. It's going to be so much fun, guys. We're going to see if the Zerg player who is dominating the North American ladder can continue his reign here in the tournament. I am JP.
And I'm Day 9. Don't go anywhere because the first elimination match will be coming up right after this. See you then.